Greetings, YouTube. Welcome to episode 214 of the 4,000 Question Challenge. What is one of the best ways for someone to express his or her love for you? Saying, I love you. I'm a simple dude. What is your favorite sexual fantasy? I'm not going to describe that on the internet. No, I'm not. It's not anything bad, but it's mine. And I don't really want to share it with anybody, to tell you the truth. No, I'm okay. Yeah, pass. If anybody watching this would really feel comfortable sharing that, I want to know if you're comfortable sharing that. I don't necessarily want to hear it. I'm just interested. Are you comfortable sharing that kind of thing? What is the most romantic weather? Let's say fall rainy weather, kind of like that. Who was the last person you said, I love you to? That would be my wife. What are turn-ons and turn-offs to you? Well, I guess physiologically, I guess one of the biggest turn-offs for me is smoking. That'll shut me down. I mean, I don't give a crap how gorgeous somebody is. I see them smoking and I'm like, okay, bite. And there's not enough nopes in the world for that. But if they're socially conservative, if they're a racist or a bigot, gone. I will freely admit that I do have an upper size limit, that I don't like women beyond a certain weight limit, and I don't like women under a certain weight limit as far as thinness is concerned. I freely admit this, that I realize that is part of my issue because of the Western beauty standards I was raised with, but I'm stuck with them right now. Though the ends of that spectrum have broadened as I got older, there are still limits. And I don't necessarily find that a big issue because thankfully my wife is well within those boundaries, and as my ex and every woman I've dated, and I've dated women that were of a number of different body shapes and heights and things. So yeah. So when it comes to physical stuff, I like women who are tall and short and thinner and curvy, and even on the chubby end of the scale, the Zoftig end of the scale, I guess, was what we would call that when I was a kid, and I guess nowadays you would call them, at least at the time of this recording, the term is now thick. I don't know if it's going to be the vernacular of the time by the time this thing airs. So yeah, I have a wide range, but turn-offs are usually the stuff inside besides smoking. Also addiction. Not dealing with addiction, thanks. What was the most perverted situation you were ever in? Again, that's a really loaded term. Who's defining perverted? If I was in it and we were all consenting, I'm thinking we probably didn't think of it as perverted. Now, other people may have judged that differently, but we didn't because we were doing it. And again, I don't feel like airing that particular piece of dirty undies. Thanks. What is your strongest sexual asset? Well, I played trumpet for 8 years. Would requiring couples to have counseling save many marriages? Well, like before they get married, I don't believe in that kind of crap, because you have to be a couple to figure out if you're really going to work. And I believe in being friends and living together, so you kind of figure out along the way whether you're going to make it or not. And once you're in a marriage and things aren't going well, maybe that's a time for marriage counseling. But marriage counseling is going to help some and not help others. So I don't think we should be required, up to the couple. Again, everybody's different. Life is complex. Get used to it. Stop trying to find shortcuts. Should you marry for love or money? For love. Is income a consideration on choosing a mate? It sure as shit shouldn't be. If you're balancing in your head, should I marry Bob or John? Bob's got way more money than John does. You're a crappy person, and Bob and John would be very fortunate if they got very far away from you. So no, I don't believe that you should be marrying for money. Marry for love. It's the only reason to do it. That's a real strong one with me. I'm not going to budge on that one. All right. Thank you for being here today for episode 214. I hope that you will be here for episode 215.